Edo here, and this is my first main game expansion combo review. I hope it works out. Machi Koro's been out and is extremely popular right now. A lot of people have been saying good things about it. I was looking forward to playing it, and the good folks at IDW Games sent me that, and the Harbor expansion, which is hitting stores like beginning or mid-January. So, lots of fun play. Let me talk about the main game and then the expansion. So, Machi Koro is a dice rolling game where you are building a town, you're the mayor. The art and the theme is fantastic. It's just the card work. It's a little too detailed to see very well from there, but super cute cards and really nice sort of inner workings of your town. Like as you play, you're like, oh, that little coffee shop is taxing that guy, and it has a really nice sort of art and theme. But the game is relatively simple. The objective of the game is to build 4 key locations: the train station, shopping mall, amusement park, and radio tower. And you do that by earning gold from your properties and then paying with gold, or coins. So you're just rolling dice to earn coins to level up. And as you do, you can earn coins and buy new properties. And so I don't have it laid out because it's a ton of cards, but in the original game, you just have every single card laid out. All the 1s, 2s, it's from 1 to 12 because it's a dice rolling game. 1, 2, 3. And as a player, they all have different costs, and you just buy them as you want them. And there are 4 types of cards. I'll just say this quickly. Blue is something you get on everybody's turn, so let me pick up the wheat. If anyone rolls a 1, the number's at the top with the die. You start by rolling 1 die. If I were to roll a 1, anyone with wheat, and you all start with wheat, anyone with wheat would get 1 coin. Then, if I had 2 wheats, I'd get 2 coins. And, so forth and so on. And so in the beginning, you're starting with a 1, which is blue. And then you've got a green. Green is you only receive on your turn. Red is when somebody rolls on their turn, you get money from them, so you tax them. And this purple magenta is you rolled on your turn, but they're really expensive and they're like super things, like trading a property or getting 5 coins from someone. So expensive, big, and you're only allowed 1 of each type. So I can only have 1 business center, but that's on my turn. So essentially, there's a name for sort of this engine building, this thing where you're buying and upgrading and buying and upgrading to get more stuff. You start flipping over your main cards by paying for them. You unlock the ability to roll 2 dice, and then you can choose 1 or 2 dice. And sort of the main decision of the game is like when you go from 1 die to 2 dice. And these are all the components. It's a big box for, a bunch of cards, some coins, and 2 dice. I think they expect you to put the expansions in, but you open the box, it feels like 3/4 empty. And with the expansion, it's only half full. So, Machi Koro is a fun, pretty gateway game where you're rolling dice and you have a lot of great moments of, huzzah, I got the 6, or I just made it. I think it's not, I'd give it a B-. I feel like it's fun and engaging and I enjoy it, but it does a couple things that really take it down. You're building an engine, but there's no strategy because all of the cards are available to everyone. So you can go about it in different ways, but there's nothing dynamic about, like, you're not really going to shift all that much. Essentially, you could come to the table and play it the same way every time, and so it's not interesting. Then you're rolling, and since you're rolling, and there isn't really anything interesting going on, when you get a dud roll, it sucks. You get a 6, you don't have anything, you're like, oh. So you've got that reward, fun, enjoyment element of it, the pretty, but it comes off flat. You play it 3 or 4 times and you're like, wow, nothing's really changed in this game. It's lacking depth and strategy. Now, it's still fun and I like it. And I'd play it again, and I think it's actually a fantastic gateway to Catan. Like, it teaches players about rolling and about earning money and spending money and and that sort of piece to it. So I think that's great, but it doesn't have the depth of Catan to support it. Okay? Now, enter the expansion. The expansion takes it and makes it a much better game. I don't think it makes it a fantastic game, but it makes it significantly better by addressing a few things. The expansion is pretty minimal. I mean, it's a number of cards, but they give you 20 value, 1, 5, 10, 20 value coins, 2 additional properties to flip, one all the way at the end at 30, so making the game longer, and one at the beginning at 2, which lets you sort of unlock all of the harbor pieces, this sort of special stuff. And it also gives you a city hall, which you start with, which gives you, they try to like help you're getting bad rolls by letting you get a free coin if you don't have any money, essentially is what that card does. So it helps that aspect of it, but really in a Band-Aid sort of way. Then they have many additional cards, many of which are related to the harbor theme. The sushi bar, the mackerel boat, all gorgeous, all wonderful, the tuna boat. That just add to the depth and the number of cards you're selecting. The thing it does in this game, the expansion does, is they change a rule that really changes the dynamic of play. So as I said, in the in the main game, you're just laying out all the cards. Essentially, there's no reason for them to be cards. I mean, you want to pick them up and stuff, but like, cards are good because they can have hidden information and be flipped. They can be shuffled. They can be dealt. If you're just using cards as just a token, you might save some space and just use tokens. But in the expansion, they did something very smart. Instead of laying out the world, you have, and it's not even, I mean, it's even, I could get the rest, but like, with all the cards, this is like a big stack, and you can't even see it, unfortunately, I just realized. So you take, I'm going to hold this up. You take this big stack, and you're going to deal out 10 unique cards. So you keep dealing until you essentially have a flop of 10 cards, and if you get the same card, you just level it up. So you could have 10 uniques, but a stack of 2 or stack of 3. And then those are the only cards that the players can buy. And I've played this game a lot. I mean, it is fun. I've played it a lot in the last week or two with different sizes of groups. And the dynamic now is there are 10 cards, but they're not every card. They're different. And having a limited resource that the players are all trying to get introduces tactics, introduces the idea that I have to think about my approach based on my options as opposed to having all the options all the time. And it gives you the ability as a player to block, snub another player. To say, oh, they really have, they haven't gotten any 5s this entire game. A 5's down the forest. And I'm going to pick it up as much because I want it as because I want to not let you have it. That, it's not really a big multi-tree engine world, city building game. It's still light, but just that added reveal, limited resource, shared resource pool dynamic changes it significantly. Each game feels fresh. You can't walk in with a plan. You got to play got to play it, see how it's rolling. It still has the crazy, oh, I got 12 and 12. And so far I feel like playing high is much stronger, but it's a huge improvement to the game. So much so that I'd recommend, if you're playing Machi Koro and you can't wait for this to come out in January and you're going to buy it anyway because you love this game, try a variant where you have a limited maybe of 8 cards. See what happens. I think it'll just make the game better. The only criticism I have of the expansion is it slows the game down in the beginning. And it sort of has a slow beginning to start anyway, but since you don't have, you could have a flop that has very few low cards. So it is not uncommon to be playing the expansion and being like, waiting and waiting and waiting. We even started buffing it up so that you had some rolls where we're like, let's just do double rewards to get some motion here. I think that's a minor quibble. Machi Koro, fun game, enjoyable, great family game, good filler game, fun, good. Not, in my opinion, amazing, but it's one of those games like Takenoko where good plus awesome theme and rolling die, pulls it together and makes it feel rich. The expansion, I think, puts a Band-Aid in one place, but really fundamentally is willing. It's not every day you see an expansion that will fundamentally change a core element of the main game go forward. And I think they were right to do it, and it's good on them too. And I think it makes it a strong game I look forward to playing much more often. So, Machi Koro, Harbor Expansion. This is out in January. This is out now. Subscribe, share, all that jazz. More importantly, play some good games. Thanks. Bye.